What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Predator vs. Wolverine, issue number 1. And I hope you guys are excited because this is one heck of a story. This one's pretty self-explanatory. If you're expecting a Predator versus Wolverine fight, that is exactly what we are getting and so much more. Coming from the writer Benjamin Percy, he's gonna have us following Logan throughout his lifespan, starting in the 1900s. As these two ferocious warriors clash together, the question remains, who is more formidable? Who would win in a fight? Is the Predator enough to take down the Wolverine? Make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you have liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, we are picking up in Alaska 1900. We have Logan, who is making his way out of the ice. He just raided a beaver lodge. He has skinned them, he is cooking them, using their pelts for warmth. This northern territory was a lawless frontier. All the way out here, you are all on your own. And for someone like him, it suited him just fine, as he dragged his catch of the day into a cave. A sleeping bear. You could say that this is his outside perimeter, a sentry at the gate. He truly just wants to stay away from humanity, by any and all costs. This is where we have the arrival of a ship. As it lands in the snow, what we see come out is none other than the Predator. Getting out of his ship and beginning to investigate the area, the Predator follows a scanner. This scanner brings him to the location of one of his own, frozen in ice with spears and arrows covering his body. It appears that the locals are the ones responsible for taking him down. And so now our Predator is on the hunt. As we pick back up Logan, making his way into town. Not a place that he likes to come often, but it's a place that has alcohol. There was a storm coming in, so he wanted to head to the post called Scar, a place mostly populated by loggers, trappers, miners, and a few women inclined to follow them. He usually only comes in for supplies, or maybe a drink or two. Coming into a bar, an old lady greeting him. She is currently talking to a man who has a job for someone crazy enough to do it, and he wants them to go out in this blizzard. As Logan begins to have his drinks, this man tries to bribe him, buying him one, then two, and then a bottle. Now, Wolverine obviously doesn't really want to talk to this guy. He tries to ignore him, but the man follows. As Logan sits down, two locals come up to him. They see all the furs that he brought in. They know that he's got more hidden away somewhere, that he's got treasures he's hiding. They want it, and they are gonna take it. As one of the men draw out a gun, this fight was over before it even began. Logan takes a bottle and he smashes it over one guy's face, breaks a chair over the next guy. With the legs of the chair still in his hand, he drives them into the man's chest. He takes the knife from that man and drives it into the other man's foot. As the man with the gun starts to unload his gun, missing Logan, Logan runs to the wall and grabs a saw. Running and jumping, he takes that saw and knocks the man's hand clean off. In a matter of seconds, both of these men, they are down for the count. With Logan leaving the bar, the man with the proposal, he goes chasing after him, saying that was remarkable, that was amazing, and he is desperate. Somebody had kidnapped his son. They are holding him for ransom. That is why he wants Logan. And while all of this is going on, we have our Predator who is taking down animals across the mountain, taking out anything that he thinks might be something of serious game. From mountain goats to cougars, even freaking orcas. Which I think that's a first. I don't think I've ever seen a Predator take on a killer whale. But as our Predator heads back to his base, he sees the smoke, and it doesn't take him long to find the village. Coming in completely cloaked, the natives never saw him coming. That's where we pick up with Wolverine and his new companion. As they make their way through this blizzard, the horses begin to get spooked. Not really sure what's wrong with them or what is going on. As they get closer to the woodline, what they see is not only animals, but people that are skinned and strung up from the trees. And Wolverine's companion goes on to say that this has gotta be the people that kidnapped his son, that they're monsters, that they are killers. But what they don't see hiding in the trees is the true monster. Wolverine's a little bit upset now. Those natives were the few people that he actually liked. They taught him how to forage. They had lived in harmony with nature, whereas everybody else that comes here, they seem to want to gobble everything up, to kill and butcher. As they approach the cabin, we see that the lights are on. The fire is burning, and while Wolverine makes his approach, we see that the Predator is outside watching, observing, and preparing. As we get inside the cabin, Wolverine kicks the door down. With the 4 men in this room, Wolverine slices through them, cutting through every single one of them like butter. I greatly appreciate the fact that Wolverine's claws are still bones in this scenario, but after Logan has destroyed all 4 of them, asking where he is, that's when he gets shot in the back. The man that had come, the man that hired him to do this job. He had done a commissioned railroad robbery with these guys, but they cut him out. They decided that they didn't need him, so he decided that he didn't need them anymore. Tipping his hat, going to walk out the door, that's when his head gets blown clean the freak off. And the Predator walks right through the door as it begins to do his thermal scans, scanning all of the individuals in the room. Going to pick one of them up from the corner, Wolverine jumps. He attacks, and he does a pretty heavy blow to our Predator. We see it bleeding out from its mask. Taking it off, it shows its face. As Wolverine goes in for the final blow, the Predator pulls out its spear. It breaks the claws on one hand of Wolverine, and in his pain, that Predator takes the spear and drives it into Wolverine's stomach. With Wolverine limping out the door, the Predator takes out its first aid kit. It begins to make preparations to heal its wounds, and Wolverine on the outside is doing exactly the same thing. The Predator putting some stitches on its neck, Wolverine pulling that spear from its stomach. The Predator goes chasing down Wolverine, and Wolverine is making a run for it. He's usually not one to run, but if he knows this situation, he knows that he's got to get out of here, get to a more defensive position, to think smarter. That's what brings us to the mouth of his cave. As Logan gets ready to run inside of his cave, making all kinds of noise, screaming at the Predator lands right in front of him, blocking his entrance into the cave. But the Predator didn't know about the sentry. He didn't know about the giant freaking grizzly bear. That's where we see the grizzly bear come out of the cave and it grabs hold of the Predator. The two of them struggling and fighting, the bear trying to drag this monster inside. Wolverine takes this as a victory. He assumes that the bear took care of him. And so as Wolverine takes off through the snow, walking away from this place, what we see arising from the cave is not the bear, but the Predator. As the Predator carries the bear's head away, this was only the first encounter of Predator and Wolverine. You see, he thought this was the end, but this was only the beginning of what would turn out to be the longest hunt of both of their miserable lives. That is what takes us to South America many years ago. Now, for Wolverine at this point in his life, there are many things that he can remember and some things that he just doesn't. All the experimentation that had happened to him, everything because of the Professor Thornton. After so many mind wipes, after all of the training, after everything that he has endured, there are some things that he has forgotten about. This is where we see him coming in to South America with Team X. Sabretooth, Jackson, Cruel, and Maverick. Both Wolverine and Sabretooth, they smell it. They smell blood. Their intel had told them that there was a guerrilla force planning a coup. A former general that was storing weapons and rallying support. Somewhere in this jungle, there was a stronghold. But when they get here, what they find is that the sentries and everybody else, they have been taken out. They have been skinned alive, hanging from their feet. Wolverine may have forgotten about this long ago. His memory may not be what it once was, but seeing this, something triggered in his brain. A lost memory of a monster in the woods, of a first and final hunt. Wolverine may have forgot about the Yautja, but it had not forgotten about him. And this time, he decided to bring some reinforcements. This is where Team X, they see up in the trees 5 individuals coming out of cloaking. 5 predators, ready to take down their prey. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I mean, what can you say? It is titled Wolverine vs. Predator, and that is exactly what we got. Not only that, but we are seeing this extend even even further out where we get Predator versus Team X. And you guys know I am 100% here for it. Wolverine's first encounter with a Predator, I would say it went exactly how you would expect it to go, with him not yet having adamantium claws. He doesn't necessarily have the advantage, and I would assume that this is the purpose for the time jump. Why the Predator waited so long really is just a matter of getting Wolverine to a point where he can be on par with the Predator, where he can use his claws and they won't break. Now the question remains, will adamantium cut through Predator weapons? Based off the context of this comic, I would assume that they're at least on par with one another, that neither's weapon would break against the other. And that's why I say it really puts Wolverine on the level playing field. It gives him an opportunity to fight back without his claws breaking. But even more, we get to see freaking Sabretooth, freaking Maverick. We get to see them going against Predators. I honestly thought that this was going to be a one-shot until the first time I read it, and then I saw, we got Team X and an up next issue. You guys know I don't check out solicitations, so I don't really pay attention if it's going to be an ongoing series or if it's going to be a one-shot, though I do try to figure out usually beforehand. But with this comic, I really just jumped into it, not really expecting a whole lot, but man, was this good. I think it portrayed both the Predator and Wolverine in the best light. I think this would be the most realistic way for this fight to go down. And 5 Predators versus 5 members of Team X. That's gonna be one heck of a fight. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that has been going on in the Wolverine comics, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything going on with the current ongoing Wolverine. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $5, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.